Hi guys. So today I'm going to show you, um, I showed you in one of my tutorials in using patterns how to actually upload a pattern to change the clothing on a female image. This time I'm going to show you how you can upload a pattern to change upload um, a pattern or change the pattern on an image for a male. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. And this is the image that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it's going to come in super large. So I'm going to go right up to my lock proportions. And I'm going to change that. There we have it. And then you always want to go in and duplicate it at least twice. So I'm just right clicking and hitting duplicate. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to change the shirt on this gentleman. So this one is going to be our main image. So we're not going to make any changes to that. But if we want to create more images, we'll use him. But this one is the one where we're going to change the shirt. Okay. Now, the shirt, when you look over to the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see that the shirt actually has two parts to it. It has the lower part, which is this area down here, and then it has this area up here. So it has two parts to this shirt. So on the first part of the male character, I'm going to actually just delete the shirt, or not delete, but hide. So that's the shirt. On the second one, we're going to go in and remove everything but the shirt. Okay, so we're going to take away everything but the shirt here. Okay, so we got everything but the shirt. Now, this part here, I'm going to try to do this without having to worry about that, having to slice it out, because when we move it over, it's just the part that of the top part of his skin. But we can't, there's nothing in here to separate it out. So I'm going to try to do this without having to separate it out, but we'll see how far I get. Or let's see if I do it this way. I'm going to insert a shape and see if I can get rid of it. I may not be able to, but we'll see. So I'm going to take the circle and the part of the image that has that little static in it, and I'm going to slice it. And then I'm going to just go ahead and delete those pieces. Okay, so it got rid of some of it, not all of it. I think the other part is in the top part of the shirt. So I'm going to do another circle. And all I'm doing is just getting rid of this, slicing this out of the picture because I don't need that. So this time I'm going to highlight the top part of the shirt along with the circle, because when you're using slice, you can only slice 2 layers at a time. Okay, so it still has some in there that it's not going to let me slice out, but that's okay. That's enough. So what we're going to do is we are going to go in and I'm going to change this shirt on this character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to upload a pattern just so you can see how to upload a pattern. So I'm going to choose upload. Normally you would work on the left hand side with uploading an image, but I'm going to upload a pattern. So I'm going to go on the right side and browse. And then I just have a folder out here that I've actually named patterns, just so it's easy for me to locate where I have patterns that I could use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate one of the sports type patterns. So I'm going to use this Dallas Cowboys star here and click open. And then you can name these to make it easier for you to locate a pattern. So I'm going to call this one sports and recreation. And I'm going to put it in this green folder here. And then I'm going to save. It's going to look like it didn't do anything, but you're just going to click on cancel. And we're going to go ahead and highlight the top part of the shirt here. And you're going to go to the fill in the menu. And you're going to change that fill from no fill to print. That is the only way you can use these patterns. And when I click on print, where you see this little red slash, which means you can't use it, it's going to turn to the same color of the shirt to allow us to then be able to use patterns. So I'm going to click print and see how it takes on the color of the shirt. And now I'm going to click that. And then you have two options under print type. You have color, and if you click that drop down, you also have pattern. So I'm going to locate that Dallas Cowboys pattern. And that's what it will look like. Okay. Now you can maneuver this to bring it down a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that. So you just click on edit pattern, and you're going to see this shirt here. And what you can do is you can scale if you want to make the image larger, or if you want to make it smaller. But what I want to do is I want to bring it down. So I am going to bring it about there. And then I'm going to move it vertically. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out in the negatives. So if I put a minus sign in the front and then just type in a number, and I'm kind of guesstimating here. What that did is it brought it from the very top neck area and allowed a little space there. I think I'm going to do a 35, a negative 35. And you see how it brought it down more. So now I'm going to go over horizontally just a bit to see if I can get the star over just a tad bit. So I'm going to start out with the 15 and see what that does. Yep, perfect. So now I have my Dallas Cowboys, the star in a good position. So you can just kind of play around with these. You can either type directly to scale it by putting a number. You can use this up or down arrow, or you can drag it, whatever works for you. When it comes to the horizontal and the vertical, vertical, I like to just type the numbers in. Okay. And if you're not getting what you want, you may have to put a negative in front, like you see I did here with my vertical. Normally I tend to have to use the negatives with the vertical, but I leave it in the positive for the horizontal. And then you can also rotate or flip the logos or whatever you have here. You have that ability as well, but I'm going to leave mine the same and go ahead and click on the X because there is no save or submit. So you just click on the X. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the lower half of the shirt by clicking that, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to change that from no fill to print. And this time I am going to choose that same Dallas pattern just so I can get a little more blue in there. And I'm going to click on edit pattern because I want to see what I got. So I got all blue kind of here. So I'm just going to leave that. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this shirt, and I have both selected, the top and the lower half of the shirt, and I'm just going to move it over and put it on. Now, because there is some white showing because of the logo type background that I'm using. I'm just going to leave it because I kind of like it. But there you have him with kind of like a Dallas Cowboys shirt. And this is just where it was going to pick up another part of the logo because I'm using just one symbol instead of multiples, which normally work better for patterns. But I like it. I like it just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate him again. I'm going to move him down some now. And I'm going to right click and duplicate him again. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shirt from this character here. I'm going to take that shirt and highlight it, the top and the bottom half. And then I'm going to, hold on one second, the top and the bottom. I just want to make sure I get both. And then I'm going to right click and duplicate. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to have to go in and slice where the lines were and all that kind of stuff again. So this will allow me to just be able to move the shirt away from him. I mean, really, I don't need this one. That's what I meant to say. This will allow me to just remove the shirt from him and then change the pattern on this one to move it down. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to remove the shirt just like that. And then I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to change the pattern. So this time I'm going to do this Pittsburgh one that I brought in before. And then I'm going to go to edit pattern because I want to move that Pittsburgh down. So to move it down, you want to go vertical. So I am going to do a negative. Remember I said normally when I do the vertical, I do a negative in front of it. I'm going to put it at about a 35 and see what that looks like. Okay. And then I am going to kind of bring it in a little bit so that Pittsburgh is in the center. There we go. Just like that. That's how I want it. And then I think I'm going to shift it down a little bit more. So I'm going to try negative 40. And I'm going to go up a little bit here. Hold on one second. Okay, so now I'm going to shift this down a little bit more. I'm going to go with the 50. And you just kind of have to play with it. There's no right or wrong. I kind of like that. I think it's down far enough. So I'm just going to move that part. And then I'm going to go back up and put the Pittsburgh on this part as well. And I'm going to play around with it to get the coloring just right. So kind of like that. And then I'm going to shift that down. And I kind of like this because it looks like it's kind of like sublimation where you have like an all over print. So I kind of like that. Now, why is his arms not showing? Come on, Cricut. I did not hide his arms. You guys see that? Cricut is so crazy. All right. So I'm just going to highlight it. And For this one, we're going to use Flatten. So we're going to group everything together and flatten it. You see how it brought his arms back that time? That is so crazy. Let me unflatten it and get it lined up. So we're normally doing a lot with the female characters, but I don't see a whole lot that we normally do with the male characters. So I wanted to give you a different perspective when it comes to the male character. There we go. So now we have all of that done, and we're going to go ahead and select Flatten. And now we're going to move that up as well. So I'm not sure what Cricut is doing with his mouth because we didn't change anything in regards to the mouth. Cricut is acting really crazy, but you can see we used the same shirt and everything and kind of did something with his mouth there. But that is, we're going to go ahead and highlight this one and flatten it. So just going to select everything here and choose flatten. And what that's going to do is, let me get the bottom part of his shirt because it looked like it did not take it. There we go. Okay. So now when you flatten, you not group everything, but highlight everything and then flatten it. It allows you to be able to move it from one side to the other. So there you have it. You have a Dallas Cowboys t-shirt on this character, and then you also have the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'm not a sports fan, so I don't really care about sports at all. My family would probably be mad because I didn't do one with the Falcons. That black part might have been a part of the mouth, guys. I'm thinking because if I add, I'm just going to see here. I'm not going to leave this in, but it's my first time working with this guy. So I'm going to send that to the back, and I think that's what it was. That was a part of the mouth that I took out. That's why it's showing white here when I did the slicing. That was a part of his mouth, but it's okay. You know, once you get used to using Cricut, you learn a lot of different ways to work with stuff. So all I did was added that circle back there, which is going to put the black back behind his mouth. And there we have it. We got 3 brothers, one decked out in just an all solid shirt, one decked out with Dallas Cowboys, and one with the Pittsburgh Steelers on it. So we're going to put the one that's the eyeball out, we're going to put him in the center. So there you have it. If you're interested in where I got this design from, I got this design from Designs by Amara. That's where I got the male character from. But this will work. This use of patterns will work with your SVG files perfectly. And it does not work with Cricut Joy because you can't print with Cricut Joy, and the patterns do not work with your mobile devices. So if you're trying to use your Cricut Design Space from your mobile device to use the patterns, it doesn't work with the mobile device. So there you have it. Guys, if you have any questions for me in regards to this process that I was not clear on, and you're not comfortable with leaving me a comment on YouTube, you can always email me at candoris48@gmail.com and ask questions or make suggestions in reference to my channel. I'm always open to feedback. And with how you can use this particular image, you could actually print it out on printable vinyl or either sticker paper and place it on any type of item that you want to place it on. You could also use it as a fabric transfer. So you could do a t-shirt transfer and put it on a t-shirt. You can also put it on a canvas. There's many ways that you could use this as a print and cut. Um, as a print and cut image. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free in reaching out. Like I said, kendoris48@gmail.com is my email. And if you're currently in my Facebook group, Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, thank you guys so much for being a part of my group. If you're interested in joining my group, then send me a Facebook group request to the group Ken Doris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. And if you're currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you guys so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, then please do so. And also, please like and share with others about my YouTube channel as well. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, again, please feel free to reach out at kendoris48@gmail.com or leave me a comment on YouTube. And please like and share my tutorials as well. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. As always, my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day.